I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Eric Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. I'd like to welcome to the podcast Nibiru Myuma. Hi.
Hi, Eric. Thank you so much for the invitation.
Well, yeah, I appreciate you coming on. Please introduce yourself to everybody.
Hi, I'm Nibiru Myuma. I call myself a nebulous kaiju girl.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a trans VTuber from Spain,
Mm-hmm.
and I do variety content. I play video games, react to stuff. I do a bit of graphic design, and I do streams in English and Spanish.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad you're here for one, and I'm glad to hear that you're doing in both languages. I've always thought during this last year and a half I've been doing this that Spanish is very underrepresented as far as a streaming language. I really do think that there would be an audience there if there were more consistent Spanish speaking VTubers.
Oh yeah, definitely. I have seen lately like a rise in the amount of bilingual in both Spanish and English VTubers, but it's most of the time it's just Spanish VTubers are in their own bubble, sort of.
Yeah.
We had something like Idol, like the VTuber agency did like a Spanish unit,
Mm-hmm.
but it ended up like being absorbed into the English one, and they also like spoke both English and Spanish, but mostly English.
Yeah, yeah. I understand that. 'Cause at the end, if it's an agency, it's looking to make some money.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
it's gonna go for that. But I would really like to see it because I've interviewed now so many people from countries that speak one form of Spanish or another, and I'm not gonna insult anybody by say that the Spanish in Spain is the same as the Spanish in Peru or anything like that. But I mean, there's certainly enough people where I think that it's a viable thing, and I think that there's so many now streamers that are from Spanish speaking countries. It's how did you get started as a streamer?
Oh, so it was maybe I have always loved this thing, content creation. I tried my creating a YouTube channel back in like 2012, 2013.
Wow.
I'm 25, so like as I say twin.
Yes.
Uh, then I discovered Twitch, and when I had a powerful enough computer, I started streaming for my friends basically. And then 2017, I discovered Kitsune. I think this is the same as a ton of other people you interviewed before.
Mm-hmm.
I discovered Kitsune. I fell in love with what she did, how she did that, and then COVID hit, all this stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and I said, okay, I want to keep doing this, but I became very anxious being in front of a camera,
Yeah.
like showing myself, and I
Yeah.
said, I can try this, with the amount of free assets that generous people made online.
Mm-hmm.
I started doing this, and until today.
Yeah, that's cool. Does having the ability to create your own model and how you present yourself online is that something that really attracted you?
Yes, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at the start, I didn't care about having like a unique identity. I said, okay, I'm going to adapt to these different designs, and I'm going to create these backstories for all of them. Like I used maybe 3 or 4. They all had their own identities, but I was limited inside, certain concepts, like
Right.
predefined concepts.
Right. Right. And I imagine there's the acceptance of folks who are trans in this community. It runs in different ways, doesn't it? I mean, it seems to be very welcoming, but there are times when you kind of get a sharp backlash. Have you found that?
For personally, I haven't seen that for myself. I have been welcomed with open arms by a great community. I
Yes.
wa- I have been part of, and I'm currently part of two VTuber groups,
Good.
which they welcome me openly.
Yeah.
But I have seen cases with other people that hasn't been the same, unfortunately.
That that makes absolutely no sense to me. It's this is a medium where you get to to be whoever you want for the most part. If I wanted to go on and be a a toaster with a limp, I could do that. and and
Exactly.
and why would anybody get angry at that or abusive towards it? It doesn't seem to make any sense to me.
No,
That's
me,
but
me, ne- me neither, honestly.
yeah.
There's a group of streamers, like not like a group, like a kind of streamers that male presenting streamers
Hmm.
that use female avatars. They are called babiniku,
Oh yeah,
which
yeah.
I it's a Japanese word. I don't know how to translate it, but you
I think
know,
it's one of those words that's Japanese only. I think.
yeah, it's something that has to do with muscle. That's what Niku means.
Hmm.
But these people don't. I mean, they have backlash, of course,
Hmm.
because they are sometimes grouped into the same group as trans people.
Hmm.
But they don't seem to have, at least for what I have seen, as much of a like. I don't know how to say it, but uh, the same kind of stigma
Hmm.
that specifically trans streamers have, specifically trans like female
Hmm. Hmm.
trans VTubers have.
Yeah, I just don't. Maybe I'm just an old man who just doesn't understand these things, which is very, very possible. But um, to me, yeah, I don't see why it matters one bit as long as it's because so much of VTuber is personality drawing, um,
Yeah,
and obviously, if it doesn't matter, you could be the most that have the best model in the world, and if you have the personality of a fish, you're not going to get very far. Uh,
exactly. It shouldn't matter. The gender shouldn't matter, honestly.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So once you got started in it, what was the thing that actually brought you to it? What would you were streaming before, but what brought you back?
Um, it was basically the like I don't know how to explain it. I just like talking to or like showing what I did to people online.
Yeah.
Like IRL, my friends kind of were interested in what I did, but didn't like to see me play or like wasn't really interested in what I did. And I said, okay, I like content creation
Mm-hmm.
and I like doing random stuff, so I'm going to show like basically anyone that comes through my channel or my social media. I'm going to show them like whatever stupid stuff I do.
Yeah, yeah. And it's nice to be able to have that outlet, and when you do get people that are coming back for your streams over and again, and the other things, do you get that kind of rush that someone is accepting you and your personality and bringing you into their lives?
Yes, totally. I had recently a a friend I made here online
Hmm.
came to my stream after like 2 years without speaking to each other, and it was like a rush of like happiness of hey, I missed you. Like I haven't seen your name appear in my chat or like nowhere online in like 2 years. How's your life? How are you doing? It was like I don't know. I'm happy when people come back to my chat and talk after some time.
It does give you kind of you when you have people, if we have regulars coming back and they're scheduling themselves around what you do.
Yes,
Yeah, and these are people who not necessarily are your next door neighbors. They're people who could be upside down from you on the other side of the planet. It makes a big difference, and it's just um, it's fulfilling, but almost kind of oh, what's the word? Validating in some ways.
Yeah, no, totally. It's like, okay, I have friends, that both IRL and VTubers that come to my stream, and it's like, yeah, I know you're gonna come. You're my friend. I know you're gonna appear. Maybe if not most of my streams, like 75% of them, but like a regular viewer that I do not know personally, like coming back, I don't know, maybe after a month of not showing up, is like, hey, I missed you. It's weird not seeing you in chat.
It's like being a bartender at a friendly bar, and someone comes in that you haven't seen in weeks. Says, "Hey, pull up a chair. Tell us what's going on."
Yes, that's a very nice comparison because it's like that. Yeah.
That's really cool to be able to be able to create and upkeep a community like that. When you started with VTubing, um, translating over to VTubing, was that easy for you to create your own community?
No, no, it was definitely, especially transitioning into like VTubing 100% because I used to do first it was IRL with my like flesh tubers.
Mhm.
Then I started, dabbling in using PNGs or models and stuff. It was already hard making a community from the ground up, and I started doing only Spanish streams, and I wanted to branch out into English. So then, all my like the small community I already had basically fled because I didn't like VTubers or didn't want to watch Spanish streams.
Hmm.
But then when I switched this new identity, well, my previous VTuber identity, which is this channel,
Hmm.
um, it was hard, as it always is when you start, zero viewers, and you start like kind of networking and making friends little by little.
Yeah.
But it was hard because of the same reason. Spanish speaking people came.
Yeah.
I don't know how. Don't have the Spanish tags anywhere at that time, and they were angry that I didn't speak Spanish, and they left.
uh,
It was hard to build a community at
so
that point.
you were kind of caught in between at that point, where
Yes,
you kind of hoist up whether you do or you don't do the Spanish on your streams. That's a tough place to be in, but obviously you got through that because here you are.
yeah, I kind of I I kind of still have that problem because I have some viewers or even like friends that I have made online that tell me you should stop streaming in English. You should stream in Spanish. You have way more people that will watch you in Spanish. And it's like, first of all, I am not sure about that, but I don't. I enjoy creating content in both languages, but the main reason I wanted to stream in English is because I like speaking English. I like learning and improving my English skills, and I want to meet people not just from Spanish speaking countries. I
Yeah,
want to be open to way more people.
yeah.
That's why I do it, basically.
I envy the people who do know more than one language because I do not. I should have learned early on, and I kick myself every day for not doing it. Because you have such a bigger vocabulary to choose from. There are some words that are only an English word that to describe something. There's some words in Spanish that are perfect for it, and the language that I know that you would love to have, Japanese. There are definitely only words that mean something in Japanese, but not in any other language.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like there are some things that I say like when I'm speaking in English, and maybe like I'm trying to say something, and it's like I don't know how to say it in English. I just like say the phrase in English and then like say the verb in Spanish, and it's like it doesn't really fit. It sounds really out of place.
Hmm.
But for some people laugh their asses off because it's like they're not expecting that.
Hmm. Yeah. It's like all out of nowhere, but
Yeah.
you know exactly what you're saying, and you know exactly what you're describing. I do envy that a lot, actually. Um, tell me about why you enjoy Japanese culture.
Uh, I mean, I'm really into learning about every culture if I can.
Mm-hmm.
But since I was a child, basically, I mean, obviously, anime
Mm-hmm.
has been like a big part of my life.
Right.
Like it has been in my TV or like my house in like console form since I was a kid.
Right.
And I always like really like the animation, but then when I started learning about the history and all the like religious stuff,
Mm-hmm.
especially then regular everyday things about Japan, it was like I I love this. I would love to be there someday. I want to learn more about this. I want to watch more documentaries. I want to watch more Japanese drama, movies,
Mm-hmm.
anime, tokusatsu shows. It's like I don't know. Everything about it seems so like I don't know, like, different from Occident.
Right. Right. I understand. It can be very fascinating. The history that is so different because they were so isolated for a long time
Yeah.
on that island before 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 all Western countries got involved in it. The and try to mess things up. But the history is amazing, and still right now the society is so different from a lot of other cultures. I mean, there are some things they bring over from other, the United States. So you see some things over there, but it's all got a Japanese spin on
Yeah, exactly.
it. Yeah.
Even, for example, like things, for example, is like, oh, we had this, like, we found or discovered this stuff in, like, let's say, for example, 1960 something. Oh, the Japanese had it for like 5 years earlier. It's basically the same thing, but they did their own spin on it at the same time.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like, it's so similar, but at the same time, so different.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And it's the culture. They they grow up in that culture generation after generation after generation, and have that so deeply ingrained is is would be frustrating to try and incorporate in your own life, but to see it work as a finely finely tuned machine is pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's actually astonishing. I wouldn't like as you said, trying to incorporate some of the things they do, like in my life, in my daily life. I tried doing some of it, like I don't know, like very regular stuff as sometimes having noodles for breakfast. It's like okay, I can do that sometimes, but maybe it's like really heavy, like a really heavy dish to have for breakfast, for example.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I used to work overnights, and I also was a just a regular Joe American bachelor for a long time. So whatever was whatever was available in the fridge was breakfast.
Oh yeah.
So
No, same. When I was like 16, 17,
yeah,
and maybe I was alone at home,
yeah.
uh, was like, oh, instant noodles, 9 a.m. Okay,
Leftover spaghetti from the night before. Perfect. That works out
works for
great.
me.
Brec- Pizza is the breakfast of champions.
Exactly.
And that's why I'm in the perfect physical shape I'm in today. Hardly able to move. the But really, it's if I would love to go over there and just walk around, if nothing else, and just see what it's like. My father went over there in like around 1960. He had been stationed in Korea and went over there a couple times for time off. And I can't imagine what the difference would be in the 60 some years. Um, it'd be incredible. Plus, I want to get all my food out of a vending machine.
Oh yeah, no, same. I have the dream of going someday, and
Hmm.
like I have friends that have been there recently, and they have their like they plan their trip like, oh, I'm going to go to this place, this place, this place.
Hmm.
I just want to go there. Yeah, maybe like have a few like pre-designed spots that I want to go to,
Hmm.
but I just want to go and walk
Hmm.
and see whatever I like, whatever I catch on whatever street I found myself in.
Yeah, yeah. You never know what the little side business has got going on. You could find all sorts of neat things. Um, Now I'm not going to probably ever eat squid or put corn on my pizza, but other than that, I'm pretty good. It might take a little while for me to find something to eat, being the Midwest American that I am.
Oh, I mean, you have a ton of restaurants like the usual food chains there in Japan.
Yeah.
But they also have a ton of restaurants. I have seen. I follow a guy on YouTube. I don't remember his name, but he does like little YouTube shorts reviewing like different restaurants and stuff.
Hmm.
And you would be surprised by the amount of like Western, quote unquote Western food,
Mm.
kind of like adapted to Japanese like palettes.
No, that would be pretty good. Yeah, I'd like to check that out. I just when you're a person who doesn't eat seafood,
Oh,
it kind of makes it tough in some of the in that part of the world to find stuff to eat.
I mean, you don't eat it because you don't like it, or are you allergic to
Oh
seafood?
no, I just don't have the taste for it. It's just
Ooh.
yeah, I know it's terrible. I
Yeah,
feel
unfortunately, you're missing out on some pretty good stuff.
I
I
feel
mean,
I,
squid is really good.
I feel bad about it because it seems like that would be the one thing that you could really live off the land with if you know how to fish and cook a fish, but
Yeah.
it just doesn't taste good. I just don't understand it. But everybody's got different tastes for it. But I guess
Oh
um,
yeah, no,
I always have to chase.
100%.
If the Holocaust ever happens, nuclear Holocaust happens, they'll just have to chase down an irradiated cow or something. I guess do the old Fallout thing and chase a two-headed cow around. Um, so what? We digressed all through Japan, and I know we could keep going about it, but as far as your streams, what if I turn on one of your streams? What am I going to see?
That's a good question. Basically, I mean, you can see me most of the time probably playing Fortnite,
Hmm.
while either singing slash making your ears bleed, and talking about random stuff, basically things I watch,
Hmm.
things I do on the daily while I get distracted and I don't look at the screen,
Hmm.
and die in every game I play.
Hmm.
That or drawing like little doodles.
Yeah, yeah. I That's what I wanted to ask you about that too. I know that you've got commissions up. Are you taking commissions right now?
Uh, no, no, because I don't really draw.
Mm.
Like it's just like a hobby.
Mm.
I'm not a good artist, even though most of my friends say otherwise and scream out to me otherwise. Uh, no, basically all the like little drawings I have done are either for myself or as gifts for friends.
Mm. Yeah, and there, being drawing and then showing other people are different things. Showing other people what you did. I could doodle something, but I first of all, it's not going to be very good, and secondly, I wouldn't want to show it to anybody. How do you get over that being wanting to show your art to somebody?
It's actually it's actually really hard when I always say to people even on stream, it's like I'm doing this, but at the same time I'm hating doing this because I'm a perfectionist and I have I put like such a high standard on what I do, even if I don't know how to do it or if I'm bad at it, like drawing for example. It's like, oh no, I'm also constantly like complaining or saying, oh, I have done this wrong. I have done this the wrong way. I don't know actually how to do it the right way, so I don't know what I'm complaining about.
Yes,
And
you
it's always like
just complaining to
lack
complain.
of self confidence. Yeah,
got to find something to complain about. Might as well complain about that.
Yeah.
Well, it's very personal to. It would be very personal to me if I were to do art, which I'm notoriously bad for. Um, but I respect those who are put out there. I know you're doing some things like um, um, you're taking commissions for assets. Is that what you're taking commissions for?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really do them. I don't get those that many commissions that nowadays.
Yeah.
And it's also like I have stopped doing that for a bit because I have, as I said, like a really high standard. I have a hard time really liking what I do, even
Uh,
if my clients like them.
yeah.
Uh, but yeah, I sometimes do. I mean, for example, if someone comes personally and says, like a friend of mine or a member of the group I'm currently in, if
Mhm.
they ask me, "Oh, I would you help me with like designing this overlay or like panels for my channel?" I'd gladly do that, but like regular commissions, like currently not because it's like a bit hard for me thinking about what someone I don't know like may think of what I do, you know?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's one thing to do your own specifications, but trying to shoehorn yours into somebody else's is a different story, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah, and if you've got one certain standard and they've got a different standard, and those standards don't equal, then all you got is friction at that point.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I can understand that. I can certainly understand that. And what I think that what you're going to need to do is lower your standards quite a bit.
Yeah, yeah. I have tried to, but it always comes back to the same. Oh, this sucks. This is not like this big VTuber like how these big designers do. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, you're not gonna do that. You don't have the same skills or experience as them. It's not come out the it's not coming out the same. Just shut up.
You're just too much of a perfectionist. You got to learn to be commercial, sell everything.
Yeah, no, yeah, I should learn how to do that, honestly.
That's the old. That's what we did in radio. We sold everything. We just you want us to mention your company while the baseball game's going on? Sure. Just give us $5 and we'll do it. we in radio we were absolute mercenaries.
Oh
Quality.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
I have seen like here in like local radio ads for basically everything, like
Hmm.
anything and everything. It's like, huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So they also do that.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Well, and not so much these days because radio's kind of gone the
Yeah,
way of the
sadly.
dodo bird over here. But the in the heyday of local radio, by golly, we'll sell. I did so many commercials for grocery stores and stuff that I never would use. I did a commercial one time, a 60-second commercial, which I hated doing because it's just so long, for a hypnotist.
Huh.
Yeah, weight loss hypnotist.
Wait, was okay.
Yeah, he was a fraud, but we got the money.
Yeah, I mean, whatever pays, I
Yeah,
guess.
you're willing to pay the money? Yeah, we'll put you on the air. It's pretty easy. My goal is to infect everybody with low esteem, low standards.
Yeah, I should take some of that and have some lower standards for what I do, honestly.
No, then you just look back and feel bad about it. keep your keep your high standards and enjoy yourself. And that's the thing. You should really do sound like you're enjoying yourself with it. And is that the case?
Yeah, I mean, if I didn't enjoy doing the stuff I do, if I actually didn't enjoy drawing, I wouldn't draw on stream.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't enjoy, for example, I don't know, something I'm doing right now,
Mm-hmm.
editing videos, if I didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't be doing it. If I didn't enjoy designing, even if my process is as stressing as I have explained.
Yeah.
I have fun doing it either way. So if I didn't, if it was just stressful the whole time,
Mhm.
I wouldn't be doing anything at all, honestly.
And that's
Yeah, it's stressing, but the fun
yeah.
that brings me sometimes is like nothing. Like nothing can bring me the same joy
Oh,
as all of this I am doing.
I understand that completely. That's kind of the attitude I take with these interviews. I'm enjoying myself immensely doing them. And yeah, it takes a little work sometimes, and not nearly as much work as people might think because I am patently lazy most of the time. so so I've shortened up the process quite a bit. But the it's if you're not loving what you're doing, you're not enjoying it. Do something else. It's especially if you're not relying on it for your your basic income. I mean, people take jobs that they don't like all the time, but if you're not paying your rent with it, do something else.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's the reason. So when transitioning from my previous channel to this one, especially like because I wanted, like I had like this really professional like mindset at that time, even though I had like one viewer at most.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I had a really hard time streaming back in like 2020 to 2022
Mm-hmm.
because it was like I'm not getting everywhere. I want to do this, and this.
Yeah.
Like professionally, I'm not having fun streaming. I'm constantly looking at the numbers,
Mm-hmm.
which, mind you, it was just one the same person coming to stream.
Yeah.
Uh, like I was stressing over anything all the time.
Yeah.
And when I switched channels and branding and all of that, I took a big pause, especially also because of personal reasons. It
Right.
was like, okay, I'm going to sit down. I'm going to reflect on how I streamed and how I want to stream from now on
Yeah.
and how I want to do stuff.
Yeah.
So the way I played games, the way I interacted with people in chat, the way I streamed, basically, it was like, okay, if I don't have fun, if I start stressing out and I find myself unmotivated to open stream,
Right.
I'm not going to open a stream. I'm
Yeah.
not going to go live.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense because people are going to know, especially people who've been there before. Anybody that comes in an audience, you've seen it on streams, I'm sure, where or it's just the streamer is tired. The streamer isn't expecting really liking what they're doing, and it no matter they can try really hard, but you still can tell that it's just not there, and
Yeah,
that'll draw the viewers away. Not
yeah. If you
as
if you think if you think they don't notice, oh no, yeah, they totally noticed.
yeah.
Like you can really notice it in the voice, especially. It's like, oh, you're a bit off.
Mm.
Like something's happening.
Oh yeah, yeah. And it's something that's a little different. If you have a community and you have somebody who's there all the time, they're gonna know. Just like you're
Yeah,
just like a
totally.
coworker. If you've worked with somebody who for 4 years and suddenly um, they come in and they're a little more angry and surly and they're not talking to anybody, you're gonna recognize that um, just from being with them for so long. Um, I imagine that's tough to do. Are you able to keep yourself up for it for the most part?
I try to, I I try to fake it. I always try to because I'm normally like putting a voice, I'm trying to put like a higher voice to
Mhm.
sound more like feminine.
Right.
Uh, and I always like try to play a bit of a character,
Mm-hmm.
but sometimes it slips through,
Mm-hmm.
like some people like some of my friends message me while I'm streaming. They're like, "Hey, you don't sound okay. Are you good?"
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it's like, no, yeah, I didn't really want to open today, but I had to, when I was trying to get to Twitch affiliate, it was like, no, I didn't want to open actually, but I had
Right.
to push to get this objective,
Right.
and
Right.
they were like, okay. don't push yourself. If you want to end your stream, do it. Don't force yourself because you're going to end up like crying or whatever in stream.
Yeah, don't be doing that, unless
No, no,
unless
definitely
you're
not.
getting scared in a horror game, in which case they'll love it. That type of grind they're good for. But the um, pushing yourself, especially with the voice, you mentioned that. Um, is it tough for you to try to stay in the higher register with your voice?
It's really hard actually. I start with a high register,
Oh,
but I have no, especially recently,
mm-hmm,
like these past few streams, I was really mindful of my voice. Like it was like, oh yeah, no, I'm starting to lowering my voice. I try to go up and up, but even having water and all that stuff next to me,
mm-hmm.
it's like, yeah, no, uh I cannot do it, and I
Right,
especially, if I don't want to force myself to stream, that's one thing, but I definitely don't want to push my throat. Like I don't want to force like this high register a lot
right.
because I can end up damaging my throat, and I don't want to do that. So I just go low and go to this register kind of.
Yeah, yeah. It's if you're not doing something that is a natural born thing with your voice, you can really stretch out some things and cause some damage. And if you get a little tired, no matter what, and I don't care who you are, if you're tired or you're just a little bit under the weather, it drags your vocal cords down. Um,
Hmm.
you start talking really low, and, and you start getting very white level sometimes, and it just that's just a natural thing that happens to people's vocal cords when you get tired. Um, but that's luckily my voice doesn't change very much. It's pretty monotone for the most part. Um, so does it just get tiring for you to try to keep that up?
Yeah, it gets tiring totally
Mm-hmm.
because yeah, you're constantly like, I mean, you're constantly forcing your throat, you're constantly like changing your tone and like constantly going like
Yeah.
you I mean, you can notice it in your throat when you like there comes a point where your throat gets raspy and it's like, yeah, I'm going to keep doing it. I want to sound like this. And then you close the stream, you stop being live, and it's like, oh, oh, I don't it's very itchy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Do you ever play your streams back and wonder what voice you were actually doing at the time?
I try not to, I mean, I play back my streams to re-upload them on Twitch and to YouTube sometimes.
Yeah.
I tend not to listen to myself because I cringe sometimes. And especially when I started being more mindful about this thing,
Yeah.
it was like, oh, okay, I don't like how I sound because there are sometimes when I'm like, I'm not, I'm in like a middle, like not a high tone or my this usual like this voice.
Right.
It's like, oh, you sound weird. I'm going to mute the stream.
I'm not gonna even listen to myself. Yeah, everybody has a tough time hearing what their voice actually sounds like because of how it bounces around in your head before it gets to your ear. Have you ever been surprised by how your voice sounds when you hear back the recording?
uh, Sometimes, yeah, especially like I hear my voice in my head, but one of the streams I did, I heard my voice like this feminine voice, and it was like, oh, who is that me?
Where'd that come
Like
from?
in a good way, It was like, who's that?
Where did that come from?
Yeah, especially being a trans person,
Yeah.
it was like really like it was really validating to me You
Yeah.
know, especially because I was watching the stream with my friends after finishing a collab,
Yeah.
and they were like, "You sound really good," and I was genuinely happy listening back to my voice because I didn't believe like I didn't believe what I was hearing back.
But the problem is now you got to find it again.
Exactly. That's why it's really hard trying to do this voice in stream, because it's like I'm not going to ever get, if I don't train properly,
Hmm.
I'm not going to get to a point where I sound like that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's tough to do. It's tough to train that all the way up because it is a muscle. There are several muscles actually that you have to
Hmm.
keep working on, but you can't overdo them. Otherwise, you're going to hurt yourself.
Yeah.
Um, it's to hear these people who can do so many different voices, and they've got like the guy who did the Bugs Bunny voice. His vocal cord was about the size of a bowling ball. I mean,
Oh my
yeah,
god.
well, I mean it was big. It wasn't quite that big, but still, I mean
Oh yeah.
these people
But the
these people have a tremendous range, and I can do one. I can maybe do a voice, but I'll never find it again. That's my problem.
exactly. I can kind of do some voices,
Hmm.
but I'm really jealous of, like, these voice actors, especially like the character voice actors that do like many different characters. For example, like the Muppet actors that do, for I don't know, like Franco's did a ton of characters with different voices.
Hmm.
Maybe
Right.
it's like, I want to do that. I want your vocal cords.
Hmm. Combines just steal his vocal cords.
Exactly. I know, yeah, that's a really, like, that's a skill you really got to work.
Oh yeah, you absolutely do, and um, I can't even imagine what you being a trans person that means to you. I'm not going to be in those shoes. Um, I mean, it's a I don't think anybody realizes who isn't involved in trying to do this or in doing this the work involved and the does it seem like the horizon is always just out of reach for you?
Yeah, sometimes it is a bit closer, but when I think I'm there,
Mm.
I'm actually not. It's like way far away than I expected.
Mm. Well,
Uh,
I hope it gets to you. It gets to you, and you're happy and pleased and comfortable, and everything continues to go well for you here on the net because you've got a lot to offer people. And we're gonna have all the links that we've been able to find for you up on the description for this interview. And Myuma, I just want to thank you so much for coming on. It's great talking with you.
Oh no, thank you so much. It was honestly really interesting and really great talking to you. And thank you for the invitation once again.
Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.